What's up, everybody? It's Tim here. We're doing episode one of Tim Talks, a new kind of side podcast off the Pesky Report. We're going to be talking all things baseball, high school, college, minor league, major league. I'll have probably a guest on, try to, twice a week. We'll do this show twice a week. And on the first episode, I got Brad. So I'm going to bring him up and we're going to get going. What's up, Brad? How are you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Tim? How are you? I'm doing all right.
I'm great. Um, First thing I'd like to talk about is, I guess, the winter meetings and what kind of went down there. Starting off with DeGrom. I guess that was kind of the big domino to fall there.
Do you think that was the big domino?
In my
Um,
opinion, it was.
I feel like there's another domino that was pretty big as well. No, Degrom going to the Rangers didn't seem like that far fetched. Honestly, it definitely seemed like that was something that was going to happen. I don't think he wanted to stay in New York.
I felt like since they got Bruce Bochy, it was a foregone conclusion they were going to end up with either Kershaw or DeGrom. I just wasn't sure which one, and I honestly didn't expect DeGrom to get the kind of payday he did, but good for him.
185, dude. Like
Yeah,
that. When was the last time he had a full healthy season? It's
I will.
been it's been a minute.
Yeah. What was your big domino?
Um, I have to say Xander.
Okay.
I mean, zero. There's absolutely zero people who thought that he was going to get 280, and honestly, dude, I was being positive. I'm like, oh, he's gonna come back. We're gonna get Xander Bogaerts back. He's gonna be our shortstop. And even you were starting to like go that route. Like I remember you were like totally against it. You were like, let him leave, let him leave. And then like as time was going on and he was still a free agent, you were just like, the longer this goes on, the more I want him back.
Yeah, and it felt like the longer it went on, the better the chances were that he was gonna come back. I remember the day leading up to it, everything seemed so positive, and then what was it, like 1 in the morning when the bomb hit that he was going to San Diego?
I just remember I woke up and I was like, this is a dream. There's literally no way that this is real. Like, Xander Bogaerts is no longer a Boston Red Sox. So
It's just insane. AJ Preller does not care about years, money,
I'm telling
anything.
you, dude, he's got like 3 or 4 shortstops right now.
Yeah, he's got Kim, Tatis, Bogarts,
Machado.
Machado.
I don't care what anybody says. Machado is a shortstop.
Yeah,
It's basically like A-Rod. A-Rod ended up moving to third base so that the team can make the decision on the other shortstop. And Tatis was the prospect that was coming up. They believed in him. They wanted to make him the shortstop of the future. So Machado agreed to move to third base
and then they gave Tatis that huge deal, and now it's just kind of looking like, eh, he's going to be paid a lot of money to play the outfield or DH.
or be traded.
You think he could get traded?
There's the. I think that's the way they should go. Honestly, I mean, there's obviously some animosity there.
Yeah, and like you can tell just by the way some of the players have come out in interviews that they're not really welcoming him back into the clubhouse like they were after just the injury. Like when he got caught for the steroids, they were all kind of like, this is kind of immature, and they
And
were done with the immaturity.
they're right though. It is
Yeah,
immature. I mean, wait, he's what? He's like 23,
yeah,
24, something
yeah,
like that. I mean, he's immature.
yeah. I mean, he's still obviously, I don't want to say he's a kid, but he's still a kid. So like, there's room for him to grow and learn from this mistake. I mean, he's a star player. I wouldn't just give up on him. I'd give him at least one more chance.
I think they've given him enough chances to where like he's gotten the injuries and things like that. Like, come on, dude, he was riding a 4-wheeler or something like that, an ATV. You know damn well you shouldn't be driving that.
Especially
Come on.
after you just got that huge contract.
Exactly. And like there's talks about like the possibility the Yankees trade for him. Um, Not gonna say that I wouldn't like him on the Red Sox. Would love him. We need a shortstop. But I mean, I don't think he's gonna be a Padre for much longer.
Interesting. I mean,
I
he would.
I honestly think they would like to drop his contract and go after Soto.
Okay, that would make sense because I mean there are a lot of teams who I feel like would be interested.
The teams would be stupid not to be interested. The problem with it is the contract. The Padres would have to eat some of that contract anyway. So, like, I don't even remember what his contract was. It was 340, 14 years.
Yep.
So he'll be what, 35? Bro, like, come on.
A shortstop.
35. I mean, like, you got some of these shortstops now getting like until their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get Tatis Jr. for basically, man, $36 million a year. Crazy. I would do it in a heartbeat. And then plus the luxury tax is going to go up too. So
That contract's going to look like nothing in a few
yeah,
years.
I mean, like $36 million a year.
Especially with the way someone else likes to spend money.
Who are we talking about?
Uncle Stevie, of course.
Uncle Stevie, man. $800 million committed for just like contracts this year. What was your takeaway on that?
So I was like, honestly, this guy just really doesn't care. He just wants. It's kind of. I like seeing an owner that just wants to win, and he's willing to do just about anything to win. And like, I mean, I remember when the Red Sox used to be like that, but it's not so much like that anymore. So I'm happy to see another team doing it.
So what I saw is that there's never been a team that's gone over, like, I think it was $300 million. Was it? I think
I
that's
think
what it was.
that sounds right.
We passed and posted something about it, but he's going to be paying almost $500 million after everything's said and done. You got the penalties towards the tax threshold, and then the other thing that I think is funny is, like, he's going to be paying, was it $55 million?
Yep.
I think it was, $55 million, and it will be going into a pot for like the 29 other teams.
Yep. It's kind of just hilarious. But on the topic of Uncle Stevie, he made his first bang at the winter meetings with Verlander, and then his latest one with Correa. What do you think is their biggest like impact right now? Like, which one do you think is the bigger impact?
I think Verlander is actually going to be the bigger impact, but the fact that he swooped in and basically got Correa, not basically, the fact that he went in, swooped in and got Correa, though he was like, you went to bed that night. I said this on our podcast. I was like, you went to bed that night, the night before. You were snuggled in. You were like, Carlos Correa is a San Francisco Giant. And then you woke up the next morning and you look at your fucking phone and you see Carlos Correa is has come to an agreement with the New York Mets. Now, yesterday, he did his physical for the Mets.
Yep.
We haven't heard anything about it.
Nope.
So, like, did he pass? Did he fail? Is he going to actually be a Met?
I just don't think Uncle Stevie cares either way. He's just gonna be a Met.
No, he definitely doesn't care. But then we started seeing the trickle effect. You know, like you commit $800 million this season, right? This off season, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. That's not sustainable. You know, so you got to get rid of somebody. You got to get rid of some people. So then, like, James McCann comes off, and they trade him to the Orioles.
Which,
like,
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't get why you would trade for a guy who you would consider a power bat after you moved left field back and he's a pull hitter. It just, I don't know. It was a kind of a confusing move for me, but the Orioles have kind of been having a confusing offseason, in my opinion.
I mean, the Orioles and the Blue Jays really have had a weird offseason. Like, the Blue Jays went and got Kevin Kiermaier.
The funniest thing about that to me is they promised him the starting center field job, which was kind of interesting. I kind of figured he'd be like a bench bat pickup. I wouldn't expect him to be every day.
Oh man, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, at his
But
press,
oh,
as-
go ahead.
at his press conference, he was quoted saying, "It's my job to lose in center field," from what I've been told.
Oh wow. Wait, what happened with Springer?
I think they're putting him in right field because of his injury concerns. They want him out of center.
Just put him as a fucking DH.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Correa, and also by the way, his last name is actually not Correa.
really? No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
So his name is Carlos Javier Correa Oppenheimer Jr.
Interesting.
Yep. Open. I probably said that wrong, but that's how it looks like it's pronounced.
Another guy that was a shortstop and they transitioned to third base now. It's just crazy how so many guys are willing to do that.
Well, imagine if Carlos Correa is like, yeah, I'll transition over to third base. Manny Machado is like, yeah, I'll transition over to third base. Xander Bogaerts is like, nah, fuck you, I'm a shortstop.
Yep.
Like, bro, like you got two guys that are way better than you at fielding, and they were like, you know what, we're team players. Just pay me what I want, and then I bet you the Red Sox probably would have offered him 160. At the beginning of spring training last year, if he was like, yeah, I'll move to second, or yeah, I'll move to whatever the team needs is what I'll do. But you got to give me like 2 or 3 years before Myers comes up and takes my job.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I agree. But on to the next part. The next question I had for you is, in your opinion, who's the biggest winner and who's the biggest loser this free agency? Player-wise, team-wise?
Biggest winner, fan base wise, team wise, the Mets.
Okay.
If anybody says otherwise, you're a loser. The biggest losers, a lot of people are going to say the Red Sox, but I think that they're actually going to be sneaky good this year. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an optimistic or anything like that. But I think that the Red Sox will be sneaky good. The Yankees actually had an okay offseason. They signed Judge, and they also gave him the captain's title. They also signed Carlos Rodon. I honestly, like, there's a couple teams out there that just didn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Rangers might be a little bit better. I don't think that they were losers. You'd have to go probably what did the Marlins do?
Nothing.
What have the Reds done? I mean, the Reds have actually done something. They signed Will Myers.
Yep.
Baltimore Orioles, they got James McCann from the Mets.
The biggest loser is pretty easy, in my opinion.
Who do you think is the biggest loser?
The Giants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the fact that they've had both Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa, and neither one of them actually play for the team. Yeah, you're right. The Giants are definitely the big. I don't even know why I didn't say that.
The Giants had Judge for 7 minutes and Correa for 7 days.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Did you see the thing where they put out the promo of the ticket sales with Carlos Correa as the picture?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was on their Instagram.
No
it was
way.
hilarious, I swear. It was get your because they had a Christmas sale for tickets and they used Correa as the promo.
No, they didn't.
It's got to be on the internet somewhere.
I'm googling it right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
I'll find it and show it to you later.
Yeah, you definitely have to. Do you feel like it's just the Giants, or is it the Giants and the Twins?
It's got to be the Giants and the Twins.
I feel there's some people out there that actually thought that Correa would have came back to the Twins. And I said it last year when he signed with the Twins. I was like, there's zero chance that he's not opting out and testing free agency. Because what ended up happening is when he signed with the Twins, he was doing that deal with his previous agent.
Mm-hmm.
So when he signs with the Twins, if he stays with them, because he ended up changing over to Scott Boras. So when he signed with the Twins and whatnot, because that was being constructed by his previous agent, they get that money. They get that portion of the salary, not Scott Boras. Scott Boras was getting zero of whatever he was making last year. So Scott Boras was going to be like, yeah, you're going to opt out at the end of the season because he's going to want his money too. And so there was absolutely zero chance that he was staying with the Twins. He was not. Let me rephrase that. There was zero chance that he was going to opt in. Scott Boras wasn't going to let him.
I kind of feel bad for the Twins though, because they did clear a bunch of money to try to bring him back, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and then Uncle Stevie's like, all right, 3:15, 12. All right, I'll do it.
At 3 a.m. in Hawaii.
Yeah, on vacation. It's like Scott Boras at 1 o'clock in the morning. It calls him up, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. And Stevie's like, "What's going on, Scott? Something happened with the Giants?" "Oh yeah, Steve, something happened. They're dicking around right now." He's like, "All right, 3:15, 12." Scott Boras is like, "Hey, Carlos, 3:15, 12. You play third base, and you'll be playing with Lindor." And he's like, "All right, puppy."
Did you hear? I was reading the article about the whole negotiation process. I guess the thing that Scott Boras was most excited for was that Correa's jersey number was going to be 4 again, so that they could say C4. I guess that was kind of interesting to me and funny.
What's
because he's explosive was what Boras was quoted saying. He's so corny.
He is such a turd. I like Scott. I think Scott Boras is. A lot of people think he's bad for the business, but he thinks he's bad for business. But I think he's kind of like in between for me. Like I like him, but I hate him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. It's like a love-hate relationship.
Right.
Anything else sticking out from you from free agency lately, or possible trades?
Possible trades. I feel like Willy Adames is a name that's being talked about a lot. I know that you've brought it up a couple times. There's some rumors with Wendell from the Marlins. Is it Wendell or Wendell?
Wendell.
Okay.
Joey Wendell. No, Joey Wendell.
Wendell. Okay. Yeah. I feel like the biggest trade talk that I've heard was honestly the Tatis one. It's going to be, as a baseball fan, it'll be an exciting season. It'll be exciting to watch what the Mets do, because there hasn't been a team to win a championship spending money. Obviously, not the way they did, but the last team to do it was the 2009 New York Yankees. So it's not something just because you spend the money doesn't mean you're going to win the championship, you know?
Yeah.
So just want to see what they're going to end up doing. I'll probably end up going to a couple Mets games this year. I guess our co-host Doink said that she just bought tickets to go see the Padres and Mets for $35. Like left field, first row or something like that. Like what?
How does he afford this? I don't know how Steve Cohen can make money off this, spend money like that, and then make tickets that cheap.
He's a hedge fund guy.
Okay.
So everything it's like owning the Mets is a hobby for him. It's not it's still a business, but it's a hobby. Like he's a fan. He's the ultimate fan. Like imagine honestly, just imagine you were able to buy the Boston Red Sox. What would you do if you had the money to buy the Boston Red Sox?
Oh my God. I don't even know where I'd start.
Like there was a guy that was trying to like screw with him uh, right after he purchased the Mets. It was like I forgot who it was. He was like, "Oh, I have this baseball signed by so and so Mookie. What was his? Was it Mookie?
Mookie Wilson.
Mookie Wilson? Yeah, I think it was the 1986. It was the 1986 World Series ball or something like that." And he was like, "Oh, I got the ball for Mookie Wilson." Blah 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 blah. And Steve Cohen was like, "You mean this one?" Like this one that's been authenticated, this one that I purchased, like his bank account is at zero, and when I say zero, I mean zero fucks.
I guess like the only last thing I really have is the absurd asking price for Brian Reynolds from the Pirates. It's just
Well, if he's a hot commodity, like everybody's checking in on him, so you gotta be like, hey, okay, well, if you want him, this is what we want. How badly do you want Reynolds?
I just don't think anybody's gonna pay it, and if anybody does, it's gonna be the Dodgers.
Someone's going to, and I mean, he's got control. I think he's under contract for 2023, but he's under control to 2025. I don't know. I was reading it on Spotrac. It didn't make sense, but yeah, he's got something for like a couple more years.
Okay.
So you get 3 seasons out of him or something like that, and then, I mean, they gotta get something, right?
Yep, I agree.
So like it's the Pirates. The Pirates. If you're gonna trade away the players, then you got to bring something more. What is it? Exciting.
Yeah.
Be as excited as the Washington Nationals were when they picked up Jeter Downs.
Oh my God! Don't
Making
get
an
me started.
entire graphic.
The 2-run double in the
Oh my
Futures
God.
game.
I like Jeter Downs, but that was a ridiculous graphic in my opinion.
Yeah.
So.
And I guess with the Pirates, like, if they do get those like prize guys they want, there's a good chance they won't pay them, so they could just hit free agency.
You never know, man. It is Ben Cherington, so like he could do what the Braves are trying to do. It's like
That's true.
Them at a young get them younger,
Yep.
And I feel like more teams need to like go that route. Like look what the Padres did with Tatis Jr. They might have overpaid, but he's already proven that he's in that superstar caliber fucking he's in that category.
Yeah.
People come to see him, so you got to pay the money. It's like the Boston Red Sox. People come to see Raffy Devers. You need to pay him.
Hopefully they do.
We'll see. We will see.
Any last questions, concerns, or remarks?
I don't know. Not really, man. I just want to say, dude, we've had you a part of the show for a little bit, or the Pesky Report for a little bit. You've been doing a fantastic job. I'm glad that you've reached out, and now that you're starting your own thing now. And like, if there's anything that I can do to help you out with your show, just let me know. And good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, and thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of Tim Talks. We're going to do this about twice a week, probably Mondays and Fridays. Try to have a guest on every episode, and just all things baseball, like I mentioned before. And thank you, everybody who listened.